public artist here in Richmond, Virginia. And I started here in 2009. I actually was an architect, but due to the recession, I lost my position as an architect. And during that year, I was already kind of thinking of kind of getting back into my art. I didn't, in no way, shape, or form did I think I was going to be a artist, a full-time artist. But I just was starting to get back into to drawing and things like that. And that's actually what got me into architecture initially. But during that year, the year I lost my position, I just created more art than I ever created ever. And I, not only did I create a lot of art, I also had the courage to show it for some odd reason. I've been doing art all my life, but it's always just been for me. And gave kind of like the traditional artist excuse of, oh, it's not ready yet, I can't show it. And so I had a opportunity where a small business asked me if I would do a mural on the side of its building. And murals are actually really special to me because I'm originally from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is, known for their mural arts program. And so they've always kind of been a really big impact on me, especially because they kind of represented the neighborhoods that I grew up in. And so when I was asked to do that, I just jumped on the chance to do it. And so I did it and kind of fell in love with the process of creating murals. Then the owner asked me to do another one, and then that one got a good amount of attention here because of its subject matter. It was about the recession. And then after that, it just was more and more, I just got more and more opportunities to create public art. So during COVID, one of the things I did was I started this project called All In Together. I partnered with another artist peer of mine, and we created this mural that is made up of several different coloring sheets. And so what we did is we made it accessible to everyone, where you could go on the website, download coloring sheets, and all of these different coloring sheets lead back and are pieces of this mural. And so the idea is that people color the sheets, not just color the sheets, but any medium you want: collage, poetry. It could be a journal for you, or you could just flat out color it, and then send those sheets back, and they all come together to make this mural that is themed with All In Together. And so the idea is for that mural to be kind of a timestamp for when we were in quarantine. And so it was tremendously successful. We got over 5,000 sheets. We're putting, I believe, six of those mural installations in different public schools all over Richmond. The challenges I think Black artists face right now are really that exposure thing. I think right here in Richmond, there aren't many Black galleries. There's maybe one or two, and the scale of them is so small that they aren't known by most, and then two, they aren't reaching the crowds that they probably are seeking to reach, if that makes any sense. It's really about them reaching out, and the other way around, and about just getting more exposure to and more collaboration with other galleries and things like that. And I think, honestly, in the Black community, I think art is one of those things which is seen last. It's seen because we're so worried about just thriving in general, right? That art is something that gets thrown on the back burner. So that's one of the reasons why I liked Art 180 so much, was because I got to learn their challenges in doing that, and that was probably their number one challenge. And when they moved down to Jackson Ward and then have that space atlas, and learning how those kids get there and how they build a community with those kids. And that's them being able to partner with other organizations all around as a unit. I've physically seen in these last 10 years, I've physically seen the results of kids kind of elevating because of that. And that is what's amazing. And that's why I say collaboration is so key, because there are a bunch of challenges that be even beyond exposure. Well, before you even get to the exposure, there are a bunch of challenges that kids have to overcome, and families in general have to overcome before being exposed to something is even important, if that makes any sense. Yes. So Art 180 is a program that goes into community centers, schools, and they also have their own home base, and does programs with partnering with different artists all over the city. So I'm not sure how many programs they do a year, but each quarter or so they have, let's say, 10 artists who will do 10 different programs dealing with 10 different mediums all over the city, and in different schools and community centers, and just partnerships all over Richmond. I guess one of the more valuable mistakes that I've had was going into architecture instead of art. But the hard thing about that is it wasn't a mistake. I think if I could start all over I would go right back into architecture school. I think architecture school taught me everything I needed to know, and even beyond, maybe even a slight advantage for being an artist. There are, from the business of art to scale and just measuring techniques, and everything happens for a reason, and I think I enjoy my time in architecture and use it every day. My advice to my 10-year-old self, or my advice to my younger self, would be to just enjoy the ride and learn as much as you can about everything you can. I've kind of lived this go with the flow lifestyle ever since college, and one of the other really good things that I've learned is that nothing is a straight line. So it's never, you can plan something, but sometimes it's not meant to be, or sometimes what is meant to be is a lot better than you thought it would be if you just kind of, follow where the path is going. Work hard, only do things you're really passionate about, and you'll enjoy every step of the way.